here we are again.
Yes.
We decided that the show is gonna indeed be Chicks Who Ramble. So welcome to Chicks Who Ramble.
Chicks Who Ramble. We decided on it. It's just catchy, and nobody else had it on YouTube, so that was convenient.
Right, and it works. It's what we're doing. So it's like a pretty literal title, right?
Yep, and we could pretty much ramble about a lot, but mainly we have these cards for now, and who knows what could happen in the future.
That's right. These are focus rambles, though. I mean, we only got an hour.
Focus rambles, right?
We could do this all day, but we're going to keep it in an hour to spare everybody.
I know, exactly. We could talk for like 3 hours.
Exactly. All right. So I am Krystal, and I'm here in Seattle. What do? I work and I have a show. And no, I'm Krystal Koop. I'm in Seattle. I have a radio show called Jazz Punks. It's on Space 101.1 FM here, and streaming on space101fm.org. And that's on Thursday nights at 9. And
check it out. It's hot.
Thank you. And who is Miss Erica?
Miss Erica is currently unemployed, but loving it. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I was loving it when I was getting that extra 600, but whatever. But I'm over here in the Bay Area in California. And right now I am basically working on my tarot channel. It is called Siren Song Oracles, and it's on YouTube. Please check it out. I have all kinds of, tarot readings, mainly to do with astrology signs. I do it by sign. Sometimes I'll have like a pick a card reading, or I'll do some other like random soulmate reading or something like that, but mainly just as astrological signs. So I would love it if you guys could check it out. You might dig it. And I'm just, trying to find a job. Basically, I'm just looking for work. Just focusing on my creativity, my band. I'm in a band right now. We're working on our set lists. So hopefully when this pandemic breaks, maybe we can actually have a gig. I don't know. People are getting creative about it, so you never know. But that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
How's your day going, Krystal?
Girl, it has been okay. Let me just bitch for a minute about my week. I'll keep it short-ish. So I've been covering for a coworker at work, and it's been absolutely batshit crazy. It's been super busy. I work at a college, and it is just about to be fall quarter, so it's just nuts. It's like literally 130 phone calls a day, 90 emails, blah blah blah.
That's insane.
So my ass has been wiped out for a minute, because I've been doing this for 2 weeks now. My coworker comes back on Monday. I'm pumped about that. But the grand finale of this whole situation, I'm also, and like, bear with me on the show, it'll probably be quite comical. I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep and a beer at this point. So
yes. This is last time we did our show, we were having coffee. This time it's the alcohol show. So she's having a beer. And I'm having champagne. I'm having some bubbly.
Yeah, so we've leveled up here on episode 2.
We're toasting all of you out there in YouTube land.
Yeah, thank you for listening and for being here. We hope we're having fun. We are. So yeah, the grand finale of that whole shit show was literally a shit show, actually. I ended up getting some Jack in the Box last night, a thing I don't do often and will not do again for a very long time, because I spent my early morning hours going Elvis style and smoking a joint on the toilet.
So it's not Jack in the Box, it's jacked you up in the box.
Exactly. Yeah, right. All the Jack went back in the box. It was a situation, that's for sure.
It was a situation. Oh, that killed me. Oh my gosh, my stomach hurts. Okay, that was good. Nice little ab workout I had there.
Right, and the same, and much like the situation from that fucking
MVP. Exactly, that's why I was laughing. I was thinking the situation from Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore, that's right. Oh God, remember that disaster? Anyway,
that was a disaster. But hey, I'm not gonna say I didn't watch it.
Right.
I used to watch the Jersey Shore. I mean, I might have not watched it like religiously, but I watched it. Hell yeah. I watched that reality crap.
I mean, Snooki and the situation, how can you not?
Oh, Snooki, oh my God. I used to love just all the drama and like, it's just, oh my God. The East Coast in general, that whole thing is just, the people from there, I love them. People think that me and you are from the East Coast a lot too.
Right.
Which is cool. I mean, I don't take it as a negative thing,
No, I'm okay with that. I'll
because that means I'm just kind of cool. We're kind of straightforward, direct,
Exactly. But
got a little sass going on.
Yeah, but not the hot mess Italian Jersey situation.
No.
Usually we're not that bad.
Yeah, not that situation. Yeah, we're better than that. That's for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was my week. It was kind of fucked, and like I had an interesting morning. We'll leave it at that.
Wow, girl. I mean, I just want to say thank you for rallying and being here on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
And you got your beer. You got your beer, so you're good.
And it's my weekend. It is.
And it's your weekend. The weekend has officially begun. Gun? Where'd that come from? Begun. And me, well, I always have a weekend. Every day is the same day for me. So this is your Friday. I salute you.
You're like, every day is exactly the same.
It's like Groundhog Day. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's just, hey, not much you can do right now. And just kind of like, over here in California, as you know, I'm just going to make this real quick. It's been a hairy week over here. We've had 2 fires, Santa Cruz Mountains and also in Pescadero area near Half Moon Bay. And then like Highway 35. And you know what I found out, Krystal? Actually, this is a new update because Krystal knows about this. Obviously we've been talking about it, but something else happened. Apparently it came all the way to like San Gregorio Beach. They closed that down.
Oh no, not
they closed. That little Stagecoach Road where if you're not from Northern California or the Bay Area, you might not know about this, but they have this cute little general store. It's called Stagecoach Road. They shut that one down too. And everything's like, it's like spreading, man. And it's like, oh my God, it's like freaking me out.
I was thinking about the general store out there last night, actually, because, like you were saying, the news makes it, and I mean, they are bad. I'm not trying to minimize it, but the news does act, basically like acts like the entire state is on fire.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Yeah.
So you can't.
Which would freak you out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and since I'm not over there, I'm like, so what? Are there fires on like 101 right now? What's happening?
Yeah, I know Janine actually, because she's over in Concord, my friend Janine. Well, my friend Janine lives in California too. But she calls, she goes, is this you? And she sends me this link and I'm like, is this me? What the hell? And I click on it. I didn't even know. I am so like not the person constantly watching the news. Like I am not that person. So I didn't even know what was going on. And all of a sudden she sends me this is a couple days ago. I'm like, oh my God, we just had like lightning and thunder and like crazy tropical storm weather the night before. And now we've got fires and the lightning started the fires. And for a second I was like, wait a minute, is this close? Because it said San Mateo County and that's where I live. But it's like Santa Cruz and Pescadero is considered San Mateo. So
yeah, I always forget that. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I can see your hesitation on answering that text because a lot of times those "is this you" texts are fucking spam where you click it and there's like a picture of some chick's ass all of a sudden on your phone. Then your phone shorts out. So yeah, I don't blame you for like being double hesitant on checking that text.
Oh my gosh, no, but it's been like ash and bad air quality, and there was like a smoke for days. Like I saw smoke 2 days, like a big old poof, like a. Oh my gosh. Oh, where was I at? It was like a nuclear bomb went off. It was like, yesterday, Krystal, when I went to St. James Gate with Jen, we went to St. James Gate, but the air quality was fine at that point. But you look off in the distance and there's like this like mushroom cloud. And I was like, what in the heck? Some guy pointed it out. We were walking out. He's like, what the heck is that? And I looked over and it's this huge mushroom cloud. And I was like, wow, okay. Like, you know what? Nothing even trips me out anymore. I'm done. Like this year, nothing trips me out. Nothing. I just like.
Okay, so we're chapter 8 on the 2020 saga, and
yeah, we're almost done with chapter 8. And let me tell you, this is the weather chapter because this is all about the weather. Weather has been hot and oppressive, and then on top of hot and oppressive, we've got fires. So we got hot ass weather with smoky ass air, and we're talking about just like hating your life. I think I was in hell all week. And when the rain and when that storm started coming, I was like, what is going on? I mean, the wind was whipping bad, and I live in a very windy area of San Bruno, California. Krystal knows that. Yeah. And the wind was bad, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, are we gonna have like a tornado or something? Are we having a tornado? But then there were fire tornadoes, like eventually because of the wind. Right. And I was like, no, it's not a tornado. I just saw some lightning. Holy cow! I'm hearing like the gods are bowling. Okay, wait a minute, and then it started just pouring, and I was like, no way. And I think you guys had it the next night.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was like, yeah, and it's kind of been, it hasn't been as intense over here, but it's been plenty. And yeah, no, I hear you. Like 2020, it's just like, okay, now the weather for happy summer is A-bombs and locusts and wind and fireballs, and you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
sure,
But bring it on. Yeah,
yeah, like
it's just
this is fine, this is
some
fine.
guy. Some guy was filming through the hills of Santa Cruz. He was, I don't know how in the hell he did this, but he must have been filming as he was driving or biking, or I don't know what he was doing. But the hills, I mean, it was like the apocalypse now. It's like everything was on fire.
Oh, God,
It looked like he was driving into hell. It was scary.
yeah, yeah. No, this shit is whack right now,
I
and
mean, it's a movie. It's like little mini movies every month of some craziness that we've already experienced in a movie, but we're experiencing it for like real life. And it's like, this is, anyway, I don't want to go on and on about that, but it's been crazy. So it's been a crazy, crazy week.
it's been a crazy week. Yeah, it's like it's a run for shelter kind of week again.
Yeah, another run for shelter. Yep, put that mask on again. Yeah,
Yeah,
stay
no,
inside again. Yeah, you know. But then also too, the whole no money coming in from unemployment, no extra money. That's kind of rough. So I've been a little down about that, but just hoping that something will come through. And I've been applying, like I said. So the good news is I got health insurance for $1. That made me happy. Okay, you know what? I'm going to point out one bright spot in the week. Monday, I got my health insurance.
hey, congratulations and thank you, Obama. Thank you.
Obama, and I got it for $1
Yeah,
because I'm unemployed.
Obama. You are still Obama, the only former president who is still acting as the president because the current
Right?
can't do it.
Did you see him make that speech? And oh my gosh, I mean, it was kind of moving, a lot of that stuff, but at the same
Right.
time, I don't want to get too excited.
Girl, tears, tears.
What was that again?
I said tears. That speech, tears.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, I Obama is my hero.
I know. I love him. I miss him.
Yeah.
Remember like that SNL skit with all the guys doing like the 90s R&B artists?
Oh, yeah.
Come back, Barack. We're waiting for you. Come back, Barack. It's just, oh my God. That totally kills me.
It's perfect. So yeah, everybody vote November. We're getting there.
Please, yes, we're putting it out. You know what? That's another message we could put out there. That's awesome.
Vote VOTE. Do it.
Yeah, VOTE. Please, please, please. We need to change shit up here. Please. Thank you.
If you want these H-bombs and these locusts and this bullshit to stop, vote.
I know, it's like, holy cow.
All right. Now that
Enough already, right? Okay, so let's pick the card.
PSA out of the way. Let's pull a card.
We're going to pull the card, okay? So we're going to pull the card. So hold on one second, everybody. Hold your breath. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Drum roll, please. No. Okay, here we are. And the card is, be clear on your needs.
Oh, hey. All right.
Be clear on your needs.
I need another beer.
Yeah, right? I need more champagne.
No, but seriously though, be clear on your needs. Yeah.
Be clear on your needs. Of course, this is coming from, I mean, hey, this could be in any relationship, a work relationship, a love relationship, family, all that.
Absolutely. This is just like one of those things that is a constant, at least for me anyway, a constant thing just navigating through life.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Needs with others, being clear on your needs within yourself. Oh, I fuck myself up all the time.
Oh yeah, self-sabotage. I've self-sabotaged myself for sure.
Absolutely.
We all do. I think to some extent we all do. No, of course nobody's perfect. We all can relate to this subject.
Right. And no, it can definitely, and I don't know, I think for women too, it can be an additional challenge. And actually men, I mean, I guess both genders have a similar challenge that looks a little different, right?
Yeah. True. Because a lot of men don't even know their needs. They don't even tap into themselves to even ask themselves what they need a lot of times.
Right. And then communicating that, it's that, some of that toxic masculinity stuff, right? Like it's not manly to say what your needs and your feelings are. So you don't, and then you're a shithead, right?
Yeah. And they're raised that way, and that's why they become that way. They just go with what their fathers told them and their brothers and their uncles and,
Yeah, all of that.
And culture and society, of course, as well.
Right. Like, men express their feelings and needs and they're gay, like that's a bad thing.
Exactly.
And, I mean, we still got a lot of antiquated shit around, right? We are not as evolved as we would like to think we are. And then women, we got kind of the same situation different manifestation of it, right? Like if we express our needs, or in my case, what I do often is I wait too long to express my needs. And then
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I am with you there 100%.
yeah,
I
and then
wait too damn long to express them.
right. And then I have a fucking meltdown when I do. And then I'm accused of being, you know, emotional and like unstable.
Yeah. Right. Well,
Um,
I think that's one of the reasons why women act crazy. We just like build it up and we build it up and we wait it, we build it up and then we build it up. And then it's like explosion.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I see that with myself. I see that with, you know, some family members that I'm close to. It's like, you know, you don't say anything, and then you just kind of snap. I mean, there's a reason that the Lifetime channel is a hit. No?
There's a reason for Lifetime, and there is a reason for shows like Women, you know, like Snapped and ID Channel, you know, shit like that.
Right. Snap is basically like a catchier title of when you don't state your needs.
I don't know what happened. One day she just snapped.
Right. She's like, I've been carrying this burden since we were married, you asshole. Ah!
Right?
I hate my kids. I hate my life. I hate my car, you know? And it's like an explosion.
Like, honey, I never knew you felt this way.
Right? Why didn't you say something?
Well, here's the thing, like, why don't we say something is the whole like question. And I could say for myself is that, it's a lot of it is to do with childhood. That's where it starts.
Sure.
And then it has to do with, me going into relationships and basically kind of feeling the same way. Now, the example would be this. I'll just state like an ex-husband or maybe even ex-boyfriends, but mainly I remember this more with my ex-husband because I spent more time with him, was that if I was going to express anything, and when we were pretty immature, I didn't really know how to. So it came out, I mean, and, I think I kind of stayed with this for a while, like this kind of attitude for a while. I was just kind of like, well, nah, like immature, just like, I wanted that. Or like, why didn't you do that? Like bratty and kind of blah, like just blurting it out. Yeah. And he'd be like, oh, and he'd be all irritated and, he'd get in a fight. And then I'd be like, but I see what happens, I ask you for something and you never want to, you never want to listen to me. And, that was the thing. Like my husband didn't listen to me. He didn't listen to what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And he just said, because of the way you communicate, he's like, the way you ask for it, the way you come about it, it's not that I don't want to give it to you. It's the way you come about it. But the reality was that wasn't true. I mean, he just kind of reminded me a lot of my childhood. Like that was kind of shut down. Mm-hmm. I got shut down a lot.
Sure.
On certain things, like I want to be a part of this. No, you don't know anything. Get out of the way. Hey, I want you guys to stop fighting and get out of the way. A lot of like, being the youngest and being like with all adults, it's like I got pushed to the side a couple times.
Right.
I felt like my parents' needs or my mom's needs or whatever was way more important than mine sometimes. And it's just, I think I just became afraid. And the reason why I wouldn't want to ask is I didn't want to get rejected.
Sure.
That's why I don't ask for my needs to be met. I didn't want to get rejected. I didn't want to get abandoned for having a need.
Yeah.
And also too, and kind of being, in the temperament, again, probably shaped by childhood or not, or whatever, or relationships, it became like the people pleaser type.
Right.
Because I'm a person who loves people, right? I'm very outgoing. I'm very much into people. And when I was younger, I was extremely dependent on people. And it's okay to be dependent on people. Obviously, that's how we have relationships. And I'm just saying, not in a healthy way. Like really always want to be around people, not feeling comfortable being alone. And so it's kind of like appeasing, going what they wanted to do or what my boyfriend wanted to do to keep him around, not speaking up, not saying anything. If I didn't like what happened, I didn't speak up on it because I wanted to keep him around. It was basically all to avoid being alone. It was to avoid being abandoned. It was to avoid being rejected.
Right.
Because maybe my needs really don't matter, that kind of attitude.
Sure.
So that's my truth on that.
Yeah. No, mine is really similar. I mean, the foundational truth of it is, this fear of abandonment, right? And I think this is a common a common thread with a lot of people. And
Yes.
it can look a lot of different ways, but the root of it is this fear of abandonment, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna, you're not gonna be there anymore. You're not gonna love me anymore. And is it rooted in reality? Probably like a third of it, and then 2/3 is some sort of skewed version of reality.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But it gets complex, right? Like we get all wrapped up in our heads. I mean, Erica's you're a Gemini rising, right?
Gemini rising and moon, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Oh, I'm
shit.
talking about getting wrapped up in my head. Oh, don't even start with that. I know that one well.
Yeah. See, I'm a Gemini rising,
With
and
Virgo.
with double Earth. So even with that grounding double Earth, that Gemini fucks me up. So like my condolences that you have double Gemini.
Oh,
Ouch.
girl. Thank God for the Leo and the this little bit of Virgo and a little bit of Aries, I guess. I don't
Right.
know, but yeah. I'm an
Right.
analyzer. I'm an analyzer. I'll overthink shit to death. It's
Oh,
terrible.
absolutely. Me too. So yeah, it's really similar for me too, right? Like, I mean, as a kid, it was sort of, there was not a lot of space for anybody to express anything. It wasn't just the kids; it was everybody. Um,
Okay.
and it was the kids, it was my mom, and then my stepdad was quite the tyrant,
Right.
and
Right.
he was unable to communicate his needs in any way, shape, or form that was not dysfunctional.
Wow.
So since he was the only one communicating his needs, that was how we learned to do it, in a very dysfunctional, volatile way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was like, it was like, it was not a robust Chinese menu, right? There was like two options. It was,
Yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
slap them or you act like a fucking psycho.
No, that was my family too. You would have to yell and really like,
Yeah.
stomp your feet and really just make a scene to get any sort of attention or any sort of acknowledgement.
Yeah, a lot of yelling, and
Yeah, we came from yelling families. Damn, crystals. We turned out okay though.
absolutely, like, don't
Right?
get me wrong. We're not like a couple of raving banshees or anything.
Yeah,
Like,
we're not.
shit under
Not to
control.
say we haven't gotten really pissed sometimes and went off
Oh,
the deep end, but
oh no, there's been some episodes, absolutely,
there's been episodes, but no.
but it's the insight that we have gained that has us talking about it now. So
Thank you. Yes. Very well said. It's insight. It's all with experience of life. Absolutely. And learning. Lots of learning.
yeah, but yeah, a lot of yelling, a lot of yelling. let me just solidify that point there. Lots of yelling.
I know, right? I hate that. God. And I have to ask you, I know this is kind of vulnerable right now, but can I ask you, do you ever get sensitive around other people fighting and yelling? Do you feel kind of like maybe a little like shook by that ever? Or
Yeah, absolutely. And
okay, because I get really sensitive when other people start getting kind of like aggressive, and yeah, it kind of brings me back to when I was like a little girl and my parents would fight. It's that same feeling of trauma, like that fear of, oh my God, what's gonna happen? I need to stop it. I need to stop it.
yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of like, I don't know, it's weird. It's very, or either I need to stop it or I need to get the hell away from it. Right.
Right. Yeah, no, my reaction is at this point especially is definitely like, ooh, let me get out of that. Let me get away from that. I don't.
It's very, yeah, it just makes me feel like I don't feel good. I feel very scared and weird and I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And which I don't know, is kind of, I've always felt that way. I'm not too keen on going into the fray when there's a bunch of that shit going on.
Right.
But I did love me some Jerry Springer and such. How does that work?
Oh yeah, we still like that, but that's, you know what it is? It's far away. Hey, I like to see a good brawl, a good fight, good drama from on a screen. God, yeah, of course. It's not in my house.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's not in my house. Yeah, no, definitely in the, like, one-on-one kind of dynamic. If things get a little elevated, I don't know, I get uncomfortable. And actually, I will be honest, like, if things get a little elevated in a situation, I will probably match it.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
doesn't help situations, right? Which doesn't
right.
help. So that's something that I'm taking stock in, as I move forward on things and continue to dig deep and like gain insight and all that kind of stuff on how do I deal with those situations moving forward, which is, you can say a lot when you're single, right? Like, I'm married to my cat, we're good, we yell at each other all the time and it's fine. Like, we bond with it. So I'm still accustomed to a yelling lifestyle. It's just between myself and a cat,
That's so funny.
which seems maybe healthier, maybe not. I don't know. It works. It works for us. But there's some things that you just don't know how you're going to react until you're in that situation.
You're so right. You
Yeah.
are so right. It's so funny how you're thinking of that along the same lines I'm thinking. I'm like, I mean, I haven't been in like a really long-term relationship in many years. So, but I've been in situations where there could have been a little bit of a fight and there wasn't.
Mhm.
So I maintained my cool. So I'm just kind of like, how would I be going into like another long term where you're going to get into some, real heavier stuff, right? Emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how's that going to go down? I haven't had a fight. And it's like, I think I would want to avoid it like the plague. I mean, I would never want to go back to my marriage where we fought a lot. I would never want to do that again.
Right. Right. Yeah. And then I look back at those relationships too, and how, this is a trap that I get myself into a lot when it comes to mostly intimate relationships, and in some ways work too. Like I see.
Oh, there's work. Yeah, work. Oh boy, work is a trigger for me, big time.
Work is a trigger for me too.
Work is a big trigger. Yeah, I can tell you that for sure.
You're double Gemini that gives you that fuck job of being in your head double time. I thought that this like people pleasing, lack of boundaries, not expressing needs situation at work I have in the past pretty hardcore because of my double earth, like Virgo Capricorn. I live to serve and I live to work. I'm fucked.
And
right?
you live to work. Yeah. And you live, that's the part that you have that I mean, I don't live, I think, cause I'm a people pleaser, but I don't live to work. So for me, I kind of could cut that part off. But it was all about, being closer to my boss, or my boss approving of me, giving me validation, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm just like trying to get validation through a job well done, which I mean, at the age of almost 38 at this point, there is no job that rewards you for a job well done. It's all bullshit. That's how you make money. End of report. So, again, these things have gone by the wayside, but that's where this kind of stuff comes up for me. And in a lot of ways, maybe a primary way, it's just a lack of setting boundaries.
It is. Yep.
Because
that's a major thing that's talking about needs. Definitely the boundaries for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because the trap that I jump into a lot of times, both with intimate relationships, not so much friendships and acquaintances and out and about in the world, but mostly intimate relationships and work, or formerly in a past life in work. I do not set those boundaries or am clear, nor am I clear on my needs in the beginning of these relationships.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. We definitely need to tap on being proactive about it. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
You got to front load that shit.
Like you got to front load it. Yep.
Because if you don't express it, then you resent it.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. You said it perfectly. Yes.
Right. To put it pithy, if you don't express it, you resent it. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Exactly, right? That's too funny. Yeah, no, I mean, front loading it. And that's why I took time off, from relationships and wanting to get back out there as soon as this, we're quarantined. I don't know when that's going to ever end, but it's a good time to work on yourself.
Yeah, and, this is a shadow time, people. Like, just
because it's so funny. It's so funny. I don't know if you find yourself going, yeah, well, when quarantine, never mind, it's never going to end. Okay. That's what I've been doing lately. That's what I've been doing. I find myself stopping myself from saying when this thing ends. I'm like, I don't know when this is ending, and it may never end until next year. I can't. Like, I just can't even go there, But anyway, whatever. That's besides the point. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm starting to reevaluate my needs because I am in my, mid-age. I'm in my 40s. And I want to reevaluate my needs. I'm looking for a different kind of man right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I'll always have those, how do you say that? Okay. How do you say this? I don't know what it is. It's like needs that aren't good. like I do have some needs, but they aren't necessarily healthy sometimes.
Some needs, quote unquote, wink, wink.
Exactly right. Oh, how do I say this? Needs, yeah. With my fingers quoting, yeah. But they aren't always healthy. It's like I want to get done with that, close that out, not have that be happening, and move. I mean, I'm not saying I have healthy habits as well as unhealthy, but I want to kind of minimize the unhealthy and move toward the more healthier needs as an older woman, especially. You can't be playing around with, excuse my French, fuck boys right now, unless you want to. Hey, if you just want fuck boys, go for it. Yeah. But if you're looking for a relationship and you want to settle, you want to like have a nice companionship, you got to look for something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm learning about really what to like avoid. And it's not easy because I have a type, sometimes, Like that psychic told me that one time, Krystal, you remember years and years and years ago, and she's famous too. I mean, you know her. We have her newsletter. What's her name? She's from San Francisco.
Oh, Jessica
Just
Lanyadoo.
Longoria? Like Longoria. Oh my God, Eva Longoria. Never mind. That's not it. Never mind. Just Jessica. Her name's Jessica. You guys probably, if you're people in San Francisco, if you like psychics, you probably know who Jessica is. She's like amazing.
Yeah, Jessica.
And she told me, you know, the kind of guy that you want to sleep with, the kind of guy that you were like really attracted to, is not a good guy for you emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to kind of learn how to, you know, kind of maybe manage or change your attractions, or just go with that and know the consequences. I'm like, oh God, the consequences are way too much to pay for.
No, you're like
at this age, honey, at this age, I mean, maybe back in my 30s and like late 20s, that was cool. But at this age, I can't be paying those consequences. It's just like, no, I'm a grown ass woman. I don't need to be dealing with this.
Yeah, no.
And then the guys that are good for you emotionally, you don't get excited by them.
Yeah.
So if that's a need right there, that's where the unhealthiness comes in. Why that? Well, I need to feel like totally like an adrenaline drug rush, you know, like I like that anxiety. The anxiety, I mean, not really, this is tongue in cheek, but like, you know, kind of like the unhealthy part of me is like, oh, that anxiety feels familiar. That anxiety feels good. Yeah, I like that. It's mystery. It's wondering. It's waiting. It's, you know, it's not healthy.
Right.
It's just, again, childhood again, like that feeling of that mixed chaos, you know, that I grew up with in childhood. Like, is mom going to be nice today or is she going to be mean today? And if I do this, maybe mom will be cool today. Oh, wow, mom is in a good mood today. Hooray for everybody. Because when mom's in a good mood, everybody's in a good mood. So it's kind of like that whole, you know, anxiety, just not knowing what's next.
Yeah.
That's very familiar to me.
Absolutely.
And that's what I find, it's not necessarily good or attractive quality. It's just what works for me because that's what I find to feel familiar.
Sure.
Okay. So that needs to, all those needs, those kind of needs need to go more toward the healthy, holistic aspect of a need.
Right.
With relationships.
Yeah, because it's like you got to sort of check yourself, right? I mean, we all do sometimes. You got to check yourself on like, am I looking for a Harlequin romance novel?
Exactly.
Or am I looking for something like steady and solid? And that can be tough sometimes.
It is tough because sometimes I like the Harlequin romance. I'm going to be real.
That's
sometimes. Okay, wait. That's sometimes, pretty much all the time.
You want both. You like both, right?
I mean, I want the steady, but sometimes I'll sacrifice that for like some drama, some intrigue, you know. And it's like, Erica, do you want to live a story or do you want to have a relationship? It's true. It's the truth. I'm owning it. I'm just owning it.
Yeah, most of the time they are not one and the same, right? And like the whole time Noodle has been meowing, so I think he's seconding this whole.
He is. He's like, yes, I agree, ladies.
Oh,
I agree.
Yes. Snap, snap, snap. Yeah, he's all over it. So no, it's true because there's, you know, I don't know. I am not the advice person for long-term relationships. Full disclaimer, because I have had, I would say, one, really. I've dated people for, you know, like a longer period of time than like an evening or a couple of weeks. I've done that too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, hey, we've all done the evenings. We've all done those. I had my cougar moments and.
Yeah, the whole rainbow, the whole spectrum of, you know, like quote unquote dating and quote unquote relationships. I dabbled.
Right.
But, you know, as far as long-term relationships, I mean, I've really had 1.5, I would say, that are so-called serious, like where we lived together and where it was that kind of thing. And actually really in some ways more than that, but I shortened that list because of behaviors by myself or by the other person or by both of us that, you know, it really, like, if you put it through like a really strict criteria of like serious relationship, that shit ain't serious. Like if one or both of us is cheating or, you know, whatever, like it's not that serious. It's a whole different situation.
I get it.
You know, so I've had kind of a variety of these. So I am definitely not one to speak on, you know, what makes a solid, stable, committed, long-term relationship. Because I haven't been able to do that, I guess.
Well, you know, I mean, I don't know how to say this. It's like, I feel like when you have experiences and you experience what you don't like and what is not good for you, what is unhealthy, you get a better perception of what it does take to make a better relationship.
Definitely.
So I kind of disagree with you there. I think you do know what it takes to make a great relationship. I think for me, I'm not going to say I know exactly. I mean, I've had like my marriage, that was years ago. And then I had a, lame long-term relationship sort of with this crazy person.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
And he lived with me and all that. And then I've had dating and like kind of serious dating and then like very unserious dating. So, it's been a long time for me, but this is what I want to say. Even though that is so, I've been through enough experiences and enough heartbreak and disappointment and everything else and not being treated well, being treated kind of poorly, honestly, and allowing it and tolerating it, to know that I know what does not work. So I do know what works. It's just a matter of, am I going to pick up those tools and go into that and use that and go with what works?
Oh yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say too. Like I've had a lot of, casual dating relationships. I've had, friends with benefits situations. I've had kind of, long midterm relationships where it's like, kind of goofy, like not great, goofy situations, kind of, messed up situations. And then I've had a couple of like long-term, committed, like a little more solid. So what I'm saying is I am not the person to tell you, in 10 easy steps, here's how you snag your husband
heck no.
children in the next 2 years. I'm not the one, but I do definitely have a lot of experiences around like what works, what doesn't, what works.
Yeah, that's why we're here. That's what we talked about for our show. Remember?
Yeah, like what behaviors work in a relationship that I engage in. What behaviors do I engage in that doesn't work in a relationship? I mean, I had a friend of mine tell me once, she was like, all relationships are a stepping stone to the right one.
It's the truth.
It's true.
It's the truth.
It's true. And that can be really hard to sift out a lot of times.
It is.
Sometimes these situations are shitty and they're shitty on both sides. If you're in a shitty relationship, you're both being shitty.
It's true. You both have a place. Maybe one person has, 20%, the other has 80, but
yeah.
There's two people dealing with it. There's two people doing the tango, I guess, doing the dance. And
and the pendulum can swing back and forth, right? Like sometimes you're doing 80% shit and they're doing 20%. Sometimes they're doing 80 and you're doing 20. And, sometimes they have a little more stamina on being shitty, or you do, or whatever. But, those are all kind of like, sort of that karmic relationship thing, right?
Karmic relationships. Oh boy. I think all mine have been karmic pretty much. I mean, the thing about it is all relationships are, it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. It's just you have this, I don't want to get all too new agey and woo woo for these people here, but this soul contract or whatever you want to call it, like that you agreed to. So it's just like you're agreeing, like basically, me and my ex-husband have karma. It's already been dealt with. It's done.
Yeah.
Some people I'm still in a little bit of karma with that I have to settle out.
Right.
Because one or both haven't.
Sure.
Sometimes with these kind of relationships, you have to do them a couple times to know. You have to. For me, again, I think I said this on the last show. I learned the hard way, man. I'm hard-headed. I'm a stubborn lady. I am, and that's good in some ways that I'm stubborn because that means I'm determined.
Yeah.
I know when I want something, but sometimes you just keep knocking your head up against that wall, right? Right. You can only knock your head up against that wall so many times and you realize, this is not working.
Right. Right.
So that's karmic too, because you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. And this is how the universe deals people their lessons. It's just kind of like you're attracting these people, you're attracting these lessons, and you have to learn them to exceed to the next level.
Right. Right. And then there's, I mean, for you and I anyway, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate as well out there. You and I have kind of, like interesting in particular circumstances and like who we were raised by. Like I was raised mostly by grandparents.
Yeah.
So, I was born in the 80s, and which would make my grandparents born in the 30s. And and I was, I had my grandfathers were there, but my grandmothers were the ones that really did a lot of the raising.
Exactly.
So, we're talking straight up 1950s housewives.
Oh, girl. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my mom too. I mean, see, here's the thing. You were raised by your grandparents. I'm a little older than you. I'm in my 40s. So, but my parents had me when they were older.
Right. You're much younger than your siblings. Yeah.
Yes, I'm my brother 18 years at difference. My sister is almost 14 years difference. So yeah, I'm same family. So my mom had me at 38. My dad was 45. So my dad was born in 1930.
Wow.
My mom was born in 35. So yeah, same thing as your grandparents. So we were kind of raised by these old school people. My mom literally did not work. She was Italian, American Italian, but her family was from Italy. She stayed home.
Mhm.
Dad went to work. He was an construction worker. She was a housewife. I couldn't be more blue collar if I tried, right?
I know, that's how my family is too.
Right?
My grandpa worked for one on my mom's side. My grandpa worked for the Army Corps of Engineers, and my grandma was a housewife. And on the other side, on the paternal side, my grandpa was a truck driver, and she was a housewife.
We
Yeah,
come from good stock, good working stock.
come from good, strong American union families.
Union families. Yeah. But you know, okay, here's the funny part. I have to just say something funny because I was thinking about this morning. And me and you kind of talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to bring it up. Speaking of old school, right? Speaking of needs, this ties in with the needs. So my mom, you know, she was old school, whatever, but I didn't really, unfortunately, my mom died when I was like just turned 20. So I really didn't get to hear all the stories, you know, of her time, but I was able to live with my aunt who was married to her brother, but she was Italian and Jewish
Oh,
and
and
from
Jerry,
the 50s.
Jerry.
Auntie Jerry, yeah, I gotta mention her because she's my. I mean, she took me in when I was down and out in my 20s, so I'll always love her for that. God rest her soul. But yeah, she got to tell me stories that mom did not tell me. First of all, she's my mom. Second of all, you know, I was young, but yeah, when I was like 23 or 22, I lived with my Auntie Jerry, or 20, I think it was 23. And she would just be like, she was hilarious. She'd come out, she'd have her coffee in like this cool little old lady coffee cup. Love it. I think that's why I like old lady coffee cups to this day. I don't know.
I would say, yeah, I'm sure I owned those in my 70s.
You do. I love them. I have one now. My friend of mine bought me like this. It looks like a teacup, but I'd use it for coffee. I don't care. But it's just the same thing Auntie Jerry would have, you know. And then at night she would have like tea, and then she'd put some like whiskey in the tea.
Oh yeah.
It's like, put some whiskey in your tea. I'm like, oh. And we'd sit there and have like, it was great. Anyway, she'd come to the kitchen table, old school, like old school house, old school tablecloth, coffee, very routine. This woman had a routine. Okay. And she was a Gemini too, by the way. She was also a Gemini. So she'd come in, she'd have a cigarette and all this, and she would talk about the 50s. She'd talk about, you know, my parents, she'd talk about her life. And her husband, oh Lord, her husband, my uncle, Alberto, Albi, married her. And he was crazy. He was a crazy Scorpio guy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Italian Scorpio with like, yeah, military. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So he would just lose it and all that. So she told me a lot of stories. Now, back in the day, man, women of that time, it's like, look, I didn't know what my needs were in 1955. I mean, it's crazy. And then they go from the 50s to like, and I mean, I didn't really see my mom's transition, but you go from the or even Auntie Jerry's, but you go from the 50s, like the 70s. Things are changing now.
Right.
You know, but it's like, as long as he had food on the table, you know, and the house was clean. That was the deal. Women just thought about, you know, and I'm sure, you know, getting him laid, you know, but it's like, that's old school. Like we've evolved to the point where our needs really matter. And that's pretty recent, man.
That is super.
Considering all Me Too movement and all that's, you know, that's pretty damn recent.
No, it's super recent because that's my situation too. I mean, my grandparents on my dad's side are still alive, and they're in their late 80s now. And you know, I see this every time I go over there.
My parents, late 80s, same age, yeah. You deal with your grandparents, and they drive you insane.
Oh yeah, they do. I love them dearly. I owe them so much.
And I love your grandma.
I love them so much, and she's a spunky little firecracker. We call her Mighty Mouse. But yeah, it is the 50s mentality. I mean,
still even after all that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, it's an interesting dynamic, and I see, you know, it's kind of neat to see my grandma and the, you know, big generation gap we have of 50 years or some such. And you know, she's a spunky lady, she's a neat lady. If she had been born in a different lifetime, she would be like me.
Yeah.
And I see her. She's almost like an Auntie Jerry in a way. Just like I hate. You have to deal with the man strapped to your back.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, you tell him, boy. If I could tell him, now the jollies that she gets is to just like threaten to throw him down the stairs. or bitch at him about bending his ankles so he doesn't have to get in a wheelchair or some shit. I went over there the other day. Here's this is how my grandma recaptures her control, and frankly, I respect the game. So
oh, that's funny. I love it.
So she, my dad, for some random ass reason, sent them some brand new house phones because now remember they're born in the 30s. They still have a landline. Of course they do.
That is classic.
Of course they do.
That is so classic. Love it.
Yeah, gotta have the landline. Why?
Gotta have the landline.
What if the power goes out? And also, since it's a landline, you can never call her during a storm because she knows the lightning is going to hit the phone if she's on the phone. So that's
of course, yeah, that's typical. Yeah.
I mean, we're not.
We also have a rotary phone.
I know, right? Like we are not straying from this phone philosophy. Like it's plugged into the wall, and you don't call during a storm. Okay, got it. So, so my dad, for some random ass reason, decided to buy them some new house phones.
Okay.
Again,
that's really random.
Yeah, reasons unclear. I don't know. So I go over there the other day, and as soon as I walk in the door, like my grandma's downstairs smoking a cigarette and having a cup of coffee. Yeah, girl. And
that's Auntie Jerry. That's the same.
and my grandpa is upstairs in the chair. And as soon as I hit the deck, he's like, "Hey, when you get a second, I got a job for you. Can you connect these new phones? Can you hook up the new phones or whatever?" Because like technology, that's another thing with the generation. Fuck that noise. They're not dealing with technology. They're like, that's why we have grandkids. Plug shit in for us. So I'm like, okay.
Exactly.
So I'm unboxing the phone and I'm putting the batteries where they're supposed to be and figuring out what cord goes where and so on and so forth. And my grandma comes up from the basement and she sees that I'm dithering with these phones, right? And she's like, no. I go, well, what? And she goes, no, we're not going to put these phones up. I don't know what's up with these phones. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm monkey in the middle, right? I'm like, am I plugging them in or am I not plugging? Like Comcast guy must want to shoot himself if he has. So I'm like, what am I doing? And my grandpa's like, oh, well, I would like, because I'm like, where do you want the phones? He's like, I want one in the hallway and one in the downstairs bedroom. Okay, no problem. My grandma, in her typical like 1950s Virgo, she's a Virgo too, Virgo fashion, she starts sighing, rolling her eyes, looking at me and going and just shaking her head like, no, like veto on the phone, abort on the phone situation. I'm like,
okay.
So then we walk in the kitchen, which is only steps away from my grandpa, but he's deaf as a stump. So like we're stepping away so he doesn't hear shit. And I go, what's up with the phones? What's going on with the phones? And she goes, oh, your dad sent these phones. I don't know why. But he sent these phones, and she's like, frankly, and it was very Gone with the Wind. She was like, frankly, Krystal, I don't give a damn.
Oh, oh my God, she's so funny.
And I was like, oh, okay. So what I'm hearing is that you don't want these fucking phones plugged in. Got it.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we got it.
Right, your need has been stated. Okay. And I said, well, why is he on one with the phones? And she's like, I don't give a damn about that either.
That was very clear.
Yeah. So it took her 86 years, but this woman is finally saying, no, forget it.
Wow.
Air, not my problem. Let it go. Doesn't matter. Forget it. And sometimes I get stuck in the middle of that, and I'm okay with that because it's comical, right? It's great.
But that's good that she's doing that. That's really good
too. Yes, this is a woman who has like served her husband and her son, and been this good housewife and so on and so forth for many, many, many years. It's about damn time she retired.
It's true. Yeah. So, wow, man. I mean, that's a different time period.
Yeah.
they have some good advice sometimes though.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though they have some really, really good advice. My Auntie Jerry used to give me really good advice about, handling certain things, and it did work.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the main thing, right? It worked.
Yeah. Oh, the older generation, like you look at them and you go, I'm so glad that things have progressed in a lot of areas. But their wisdom and knowledge and advice is invaluable. If you
I
have,
think so.
yeah, if you have an elder in your life, consider yourself
Yes.
very, very fortunate.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, yeah. But also note and consider yourself very fortunate that even though this year has been a weird pile of shit, it's 2020 and it's not 1950. We're getting there.
Exactly. 1950, even 1960.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much the same as 1950.
Yeah, exactly.
Not very progressed. It didn't start to get progressed till after the late 60s, early 70s.
Right. So positive progress. Let's keep the momentum going, ladies and gentlemen. Please.
Yes, let's keep it going. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they there was one thing that was kind of cool, and I just have to share this. And this is kind of off topic. It's not necessarily about needs, but might be. I was in a fight with my ex at the time, which was my husband. I don't think we were married yet though.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just visiting with my aunt because I was like not living. Or was I living? No, I wasn't living there at the time. I don't think. I was living with my dad, but I was visiting her, and I said, "Well, I'm only pissed at I'm not going to say his name. My ex-husband. I'm pissed at so and so." And she's like, "Oh, okay, what happened?" Told her, and she goes, "Well, here's the thing." She goes, "Because what was supposed to happen was I was supposed to go be with my ex, like at his place, and we were like supposed to get together, like in the afternoon. So I was going to go over there after I saw my Auntie Jerry." And then she goes, "Okay, look," she goes, "you could come in there guns blazing, because you know me. And back in my 20s, oh, you didn't know me then. I mean, like, well, you did know me then, actually, but you knew me, this was even earlier than that. And I was just a pistol. So I would get really mad and start going off and like, I don't want to deal with you. And just like yelling or whatever." She goes, "You could do that. Or you know what you could do?" And this is like kind of mind blowing. And I still kind of want to use it to this day, to be honest. She goes, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Just go to his house, sit down, be really quiet, and just be kind of like demure and quiet." And she goes, "If he's a good man," this was the gem. This was the gem. "If he's a good man, he's going to say sorry without you saying nothing.
Oh, hey.
You don't have to call him out.
There you go.
If he's a good man," which I feel he is. She loved my ex. Yeah. "Which I feel he is," she goes, "he will say, 'You know what, I'm really sorry about last night,' without you saying nothing. And you could be quiet and soft and just make him, it's going to make him feel bad because you're not getting on him." Now that was some reverse psychology that I thought was pretty much a gem. And it worked. I went over to his place. I sat down. I was like, "Hi," very just like, "Hi," whatever. And he's like putting his clothes away in his room. And I'm just sitting there, and it was on his couch, just kind of sitting there. And he's quiet and I'm quiet, and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him, and he's putting his clothes away. And then he looks over, he's like, "Hey, about last night, I'm really sorry. And I was a jerk." And he apologized.
Hey,
I didn't have to do nothing.
Yes.
So see, that's ladies, just hear that out from this old lady from the 1950s, man. If your man is a good man, he'll already feel the guilt, and he's just going to say sorry.
There you go.
He's going to recognize his issue. He's going to know he did wrong.
Right. And on that needs note, right? Like, I mean, you got to be clear on your needs, but you also got to be clear on what you need with yourself. And that's how you can snag these good men, right? Like you take time and you sit back and you listen.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's perfect. That's a need right there. I want a man or woman. I mean, this, hey, it goes both ways.
Right,
who would take accountability.
Yeah.
Who would realize when they did something wrong. Grown-ass person, mature person.
Yeah. A grown-ass
person is going to keep blaming somebody and pointing the finger.
Right. No, sage advice from a wise woman.
That's right. I had to put that out there.
Absolutely. Hats off, hands raised to our elders. We are so
yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So on that note, we are out of time. Can you believe it's been an hour, Erica?
Yes, we jammed, girl.
We jammed. We're like, we do a little mini jam session before these shows, and we're like, oh, and I'm like, I haven't had time to think a whole lot of nothing about anything. And you're like, me too. And then here we are, we're talking about it.
I thought we did pretty good.
That's why it's Chicks Who Ramble. We figure it out.
Chicks Who Ramble. We just ramble. That's what we do. We go off topic, but it's always, it should be valuable, either entertaining or valuable.
or both. We bring it back and yeah, and we get involved in some goofy shit. So enjoy.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and we will be back next week. Have a great
another topic, which we don't know yet.
We will consult the oracle, and we'll let you know.
Consult the oracle. You guys have a great day. Stay safe, stay well, and don't forget to vote.
That's right. Vote. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.